December 24th, 2024, Christmas Eve, 11:47 p.m. A 911 call comes in from a quiet suburban neighborhood in Columbus, Ohio. A man is screaming, crying, begging for help. His wife has been shot. When police arrive at the two-story colonial home just after midnight, they find Christmas lights still twinkling on the roof, presents wrapped under the tree, a half-eaten plate of cookies on the kitchen counter. And in the living room, 26-year-old Amanda Sullivan, shot 9 times, dead. Her husband, 28-year-old pastor Michael Sullivan, is sitting on the front porch, his white dress shirt covered in blood, scratches across his face, his hands shaking. He tells officers the same thing he told the 911 dispatcher. Someone broke in, an intruder. He tried to fight them off, but he couldn't save her. The detective on scene, a 20-year veteran named Robert Hayes, walks through the house. He sees no signs of forced entry, no drawers pulled open, no valuables missing. The back door is locked from the inside. And then he notices something that changes everything. Amanda Sullivan's knuckles are split open, bruised, bloodied, like she'd been in a fight. But not with her husband, not here in this house. Detective Hayes pulls up the security footage from their Ring camera, and what he finds doesn't show a home invasion. It shows Amanda returning home at 7:13 p.m., 4 hours and 34 minutes before her husband called 911. She's stumbling, her face is swollen, her clothes torn, and she's screaming at someone inside the house. The audio is muffled, but Hayes can make out certain words. Her, lying, whore. Michael Sullivan appears in the doorway. They argue. The door slams. And then, nothing. For 4 hours and 34 minutes, nothing. Until the gunshots. Hayes runs Michael's phone records, and that's when he discovers where Amanda had been earlier that evening. At 6:15 p.m., just 1 hour before she came home, Amanda Sullivan had driven to an apartment complex 7 miles away. Security footage from that building shows her getting out of her car, marching toward a woman in the parking lot, a woman later identified as 24-year-old Jessica Martin. And then Amanda attacks her. It's brutal, vicious. She tackles Jessica to the ground, punches her repeatedly, slams her head against the concrete. Witnesses pull Amanda off. Jessica is rushed to the hospital with a broken nose, fractured eye socket, and severe concussion. Amanda gets in her car and drives home to confront her husband, because Jessica Martin wasn't a stranger. If you want to uncover more chilling true crime stories and see justice exposed, subscribe to Crime Vaults as we bring light to the darkest true crime cases and never miss the secrets hidden in plain sight. Jessica Martin sang in the choir at Redemption Grace Church, where Michael Sullivan had been assistant pastor for 3 years. She was also his mistress. Phone records show Michael and Jessica had been exchanging hundreds of texts for over a year, long before he married Amanda. In fact, the affair never stopped. 2 weeks after Michael's wedding, he texted Jessica, "I made a mistake. You're the one I want." 1 month after the wedding, "She's sweet, but she's not you. I'm looking into annulment options." 3 months after the wedding, "She doesn't understand me like you do. We rushed into this." And on Christmas Eve, at 5:42 p.m., Jessica sent Michael a text that said, "She knows. She just showed up at my apartment screaming." 17 minutes later, "She's attacking me in the parking lot. Someone call the cops. Michael, where are you?" Michael never responded to those texts, but phone records show he read them. He knew his wife had just discovered the affair. He knew she'd beaten his mistress badly enough to send her to the hospital, and he knew she was coming home. To understand how this night ended in 9 gunshots, you have to go back 6 months, to June 15th, 2024. Amanda Chen was a kindergarten teacher at Westbrook Elementary, 26 years old, the daughter of Chinese immigrants who'd built a successful medical supply business in Ohio. She met Michael Sullivan at a church community outreach event in March. He was charismatic, handsome, passionate about his faith and his calling. Their courtship was a whirlwind. First date in April, engaged by May, married in June. Amanda's parents thought it was too fast. Her mother, Lin Chen, later told investigators she'd begged Amanda to wait, to take more time, to really get to know this man. But Amanda was in love, and Michael seemed perfect. He delivered the sermon at their wedding. His text was from Corinthians, "Love is patient, love is kind." The reception was held at the church fellowship hall. 200 guests. Amanda's father gave a tearful toast about finally finding a man worthy of his daughter. Michael's best man was another pastor from a neighboring church. His toast mentioned how Michael had finally found the one after years of searching. What nobody knew was that during the reception, while Amanda danced with her father, Michael stepped outside to make a phone call to Jessica Martin. Cell tower records later confirmed it. The call lasted 4 minutes. The first 3 months of marriage seemed happy. Amanda posted regularly on social media, photos of her and Michael at church events, dinners at nice restaurants, a weekend trip to Niagara Falls for their 1-month anniversary. The captions were always bright, always positive. So blessed. Best decision ever. My forever person. But Amanda's best friend, Sarah Williams, later told detectives that Amanda had confided in her as early as August, just 2 months after the wedding. Michael was distant, Sarah said. He spent long hours at the church. He was always on his phone. When Amanda asked who he was texting, he'd say it was church business, counseling sessions, sermon preparation. Amanda wanted to believe him. In September, Amanda noticed Michael had changed his passcode. When she asked why, he said he'd been getting spam calls and wanted better security. In October, Amanda found a receipt in Michael's car. Dinner at an expensive Italian restaurant for 2 people, on a night Michael had told her he was at a deacon's meeting. When she confronted him, Michael said he'd taken the head pastor out to discuss church growth strategies. Amanda let it go. In November, Amanda's credit card statement showed a charge from a jewelry store, $340. She hadn't bought any jewelry. She checked Michael's drawers while he was at church. No jewelry, no gift hidden for Christmas. That's when Amanda started to suspect. On December 20th, 4 days before Christmas, Amanda did something she'd never done before. She went through Michael's phone while he was in the shower. He changed his passcode, but Amanda had watched him type it in the week before. She'd memorized the pattern. What she found destroyed her. Thousands of text messages between Michael and Jessica Martin, dating back 14 months before Amanda had even met Michael. The early messages were romantic, affectionate. Jessica calling Michael baby, Michael calling Jessica my love. Then came the messages during Amanda's courtship with Michael. Jessica, you're really going to marry her? Michael, it's complicated. I need you to trust me. Jessica, I don't understand. I thought we were building something. Michael, we are. This doesn't change us. And then the messages after the wedding. June 18th, 3 days after the ceremony. Michael, the wedding night was awkward. I kept thinking of you. June 23rd. Michael, I need to see you. Can you meet me? July 9th. Jessica, I can't keep doing this. You're married now. Michael, only on paper. My heart belongs to you. August 14th. Michael, I'm going to leave her. I just need time to figure out the finances. September 30th. Jessica, you've been saying that for months. Michael, her family has money, a lot of it. I need to be smart about this. Amanda read every message, hundreds of them. She didn't confront Michael that night. She waited. On December 23rd, the day before Christmas Eve, Amanda did more digging. She searched through Michael's email, his cloud storage, his browser history. That's when she found the life insurance documents. $1.2 million, taken out on November 27th, less than a month earlier. Amanda was listed as the insured, Michael as the beneficiary. She didn't remember signing any life insurance paperwork, but then she found it, a document she'd signed in mid-November. Michael had brought it home, said it was paperwork for adding her to the church's health insurance plan.
She'd been in a hurry, grading papers, and had signed it without reading carefully. It wasn't health insurance. It was a life insurance policy. Amanda also found financial records showing she was supposed to inherit a $2 million trust fund from her grandmother on her 27th birthday, January 9th, 16 days away. The trust had stipulations. If Amanda was married, her spouse would automatically become a co-beneficiary with full access to the funds. If Amanda died while married before accessing the trust, her spouse would inherit everything. Amanda sat at their kitchen table that night, looking at the documents, and realized something. Her husband hadn't married her for love. He'd married her for money. Christmas Eve morning, Amanda woke up before Michael. She packed a bag quietly. Her plan was to leave, go to her parents' house, file for divorce after the holidays. But then Michael's phone buzzed on the nightstand, a text from Jessica Martin. "Merry Christmas Eve, my love. Can't wait to see you tonight after the service. I'll be thinking of you all day." Something inside Amanda snapped. Michael wasn't just cheating on her. He was still actively planning a future with his mistress while collecting insurance policies, while waiting for her trust fund. Amanda didn't pack a bag. Instead, she went through Michael's phone again while he was making breakfast. She found Jessica's address. At 4:30 p.m., while Michael was at the church preparing for the Christmas Eve service, Amanda drove to Jessica's apartment. She didn't have a plan. She just knew she needed to confront this woman, to tell her that Michael was married, that whatever he'd promised Jessica was a lie. But when Jessica opened her apartment door and saw Amanda standing there, she didn't look surprised. She looked annoyed. Jessica said, "What do you want?" Amanda said, "I'm Michael's wife." Jessica said, "I know who you are." Amanda said, "Then you know he's been lying to you." And Jessica laughed. She actually laughed. She said, "Honey, he married you for your money. We both know that. Once he gets access to your trust fund, he's filing for divorce. He told me the whole plan months ago." That's when Amanda hit her.
The fight in the parking lot lasted less than 3 minutes. But in those 3 minutes, Amanda unleashed 6 months of rage, of betrayal, of humiliation. Witnesses said Amanda was screaming while she beat Jessica. "You knew? You knew he was using me?" Jessica tried to fight back, but Amanda was stronger, angrier. By the time bystanders pulled Amanda off, Jessica was unconscious, blood pooling beneath her head. An ambulance arrived. Jessica was taken to Metro Hospital with life-threatening injuries. Amanda got in her car, her hands shaking, her knuckles bleeding, and she drove home to wait for her husband. Michael arrived home at 6:58 p.m. The Christmas Eve service had been canceled due to low attendance. Heavy snow was forecast. When he walked through the door, he found Amanda sitting on the couch, her face bruised, her shirt torn, blood on her hands. He said, "What happened to you?" She said, "I met Jessica." Michael's face went pale. Amanda stood up. She walked to the kitchen table where she'd laid out everything she'd found. The text messages, printed out, hundreds of pages, the life insurance documents, the trust fund paperwork. She said, "You married me to rob me, and when that wasn't enough, you were going to kill me." Michael said, "That's insane. You're being paranoid." Amanda said, "Jessica told me everything, your whole plan. She's in the hospital now because of you, because of what you turned me into." Michael's demeanor changed. The concern, the shock, it all fell away. He said, "What did you do to her?" Not, "Are you okay?" Not, "Let me explain." What did you do to her? Amanda realized in that moment that Michael had never loved her, not even a little bit. She said, "I want a divorce. I'm going to my parents' house tonight. I'm telling the church board everything, and I'm pressing charges against you for fraud." Michael said, "You're not going anywhere." Amanda said, "You can't stop me." Michael said, "You just put my girlfriend in the hospital? You think you're going to walk away from this? You're going to jail, Amanda, for assault, maybe attempted murder." Amanda said, "Then we'll both lose everything." And Michael said, "No, just you." Detective Hayes brings Michael in for questioning at 2:30 a.m. on Christmas morning. For the first 6 hours, Michael sticks to his story: intruder, self-defense, tragedy. But then Hayes plays the Ring camera footage, shows him the timeline, shows him that Amanda came home at 7:13 p.m., but he didn't call 911 until 11:47 p.m. 4 hours and 34 minutes. Hayes asks, "What were you doing for 4.5 hours while your wife bled out in your living room?" Michael says, "We were fighting. She attacked me. I was trying to calm her down." Hayes says, "For 4.5 hours?" Michael says, "She was out of control. I was scared." Hayes says, "Scared enough to shoot her 9 times?" Michael says, "It was self-defense." Hayes says, "Show me the weapon she attacked you with." Michael says, "A knife. She had a knife." Hayes says, "We didn't find a knife. We searched your entire house. No knife." Michael says, "She must have, I don't know, maybe the intruder took it." Hayes says, "There was no intruder, Michael. Your back door was locked from the inside. Your Ring camera shows nobody entering or leaving your property except you and Amanda." Michael is quiet for a long time. Then he says, "I want a lawyer." But Michael's request for a lawyer comes too late, because while he's been in interrogation, forensic techs have been analyzing his cell phone, and they've found something that changes everything. At 7:41 p.m. on Christmas Eve, 28 minutes after Amanda arrived home, Michael made a phone call to Jessica Martin. She answered, and the call lasted 43 minutes. Detectives obtain a warrant for the phone company's audio backup servers. It takes 3 days, but they get it. And what they recover is chilling. The call begins with Michael whispering, "Jess, she knows. She knows everything. She went through my phone. She found the insurance policy. She said she's going to her parents. She's going to tell the church. She's going to ruin us." Jessica's voice, groggy, in pain from her injuries. "What? Michael, I'm in the hospital. This crazy bitch almost killed me." "I know. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But listen to me. She's demanding a divorce. She's going to take everything. The trust fund, it's gone. If she divorces me before her birthday, I get nothing." "So what are you going to do?" "I don't know. I don't know. She's in the living room right now packing her things. She's calling her father. If she leaves, it's over." "Then don't let her leave." Silence. "What do you mean?" "You know what I mean, Michael. We've been planning this for months. The insurance policy, the trust fund. We just needed to wait a few more weeks, but she's forcing your hand." "I can't, Jess. I can't do that." "You can. You have to. Do you think she's going to just let you walk away? She's going to press charges. She's going to tell everyone. You'll lose your job, your reputation, everything, and I'll go to prison for conspiracy or whatever. She's going to destroy both of us. There has to be another way. There isn't. It's her or us. Choose." For a long moment, there's only breathing on the line. Amanda's voice can be heard in the background, on the phone with her father. "Dad, I need you to come pick me up. I can't explain over the phone. Just please come." "Jess, Michael, she's calling for help. You're running out of time." If I do this, you have to promise me we'll be together, that this will all be worth it. I promise. I love you. I've always loved you. This is the only way we get our life together." Okay. Stay on the phone with me. I'm here. I'm right here." Michael's voice gets louder now, calling to Amanda. "Amanda, can we please just talk about this, calmly, before you call your parents?" "There's nothing to talk about, Michael. I'm leaving, tonight." "Please, just sit down. Let me explain. I'm done listening to your lies. I'm not lying. I love you. I made mistakes, but I love you." "You love me? You married me to steal my inheritance. Your girlfriend told me everything." "She's lying. She's jealous. Please, Amanda, just sit down for 5 minutes." A pause. Footsteps. "Fine. 5 minutes. Then I'm leaving." "Thank you. Thank you." Jessica's voice on the phone, barely audible.
"Michael, are you really going to do this?" Michael doesn't answer her. Instead, he says to Amanda, "I need you to understand something. I never wanted it to go this way." "What are you talking about?" "I'm sorry." And then the first shot fires. Amanda screams, "Michael, what are you—" Second shot. Oh God, please, Michael, stop." Third shot. Amanda is crying now, begging, "Please, Michael, please, think of us. We can work this out. Think of our future, please." Fourth shot. "I don't want to die. Please, I don't want to die." Fifth shot. Sixth shot. Amanda's voice is weaker now. "Why? Why are you doing this?" "Because you were going to take everything from me." Seventh shot. Eighth shot. Amanda stops making sounds. There's a long pause. Michael is breathing heavily. Jessica is silent on the phone. Then Michael speaks. "Jess, are you still there?" Jessica, her voice shaking. "I'm here." Michael, "I need to reload." The sound of a magazine clicking, metal sliding. Ninth shot. After the ninth shot, Michael stands in silence for almost a full minute. Then Jessica speaks.
Is it done?
Michael, "Yes." "Are you sure?" "I'm sure." Okay. Now you need to call 911. Remember what we talked about. Intruder. You tried to fight them off. You're devastated. You're in shock." "What if they don't believe me?" "They will. Just stick to the story. And Michael, you need to wait. Don't call 911 right away. It'll look suspicious. Wait at least a few hours. Make it look like you were trying to save her, like you were in shock and couldn't process what happened." "How long should I wait?" "I don't know. 3 hours? 4? Long enough that the timeline makes sense." "Okay. And Michael, get rid of this phone. As soon as we hang up, factory reset it. The police can't know we talked tonight." "Right. Okay. I love you. We're going to get through this, and then we'll finally be together, just like we planned." "I love you too." The call ends at 8:24 p.m. Michael doesn't call 911 until 11:47 p.m., 3 hours and 23 minutes later. But Michael made a critical mistake. He factory reset his phone, but he didn't know that his carrier automatically backs up call audio for all calls longer than 10 minutes, a policy implemented after 9/11 for national security purposes. The audio is stored on secure servers for 90 days before being permanently deleted. When Detective Hayes gets the warrant and retrieves that audio, the case transforms from circumstantial to ironclad. Michael Sullivan isn't just a husband who killed his wife in a moment of rage. He's a man who executed a premeditated murder while on the phone with his co-conspirator. Jessica Martin isn't just the mistress. She's an accomplice. On December 28th, 4 days after Christmas, police arrest Jessica Martin in her hospital bed. She's still recovering from the injuries Amanda inflicted. Her face is bandaged, her eye socket wired shut. When detectives tell her they have the phone call recording, she starts crying. She says, "I didn't think he'd actually do it. I was on pain medication. I wasn't thinking clearly. I didn't mean for him to kill her." Detective Hayes says, "You told him to do it. You told him it was her or us. You coached him on how to cover it up." Jessica says, "I was upset. She'd just tried to kill me. I was angry. I wasn't serious." Hayes plays the recording, the entire 43 minutes. When it ends, Jessica is silent. Then she says, "I want to make a deal." Jessica Martin's lawyer negotiates a plea deal in exchange for her full testimony against Michael Sullivan. And what she reveals is even more disturbing than the Christmas Eve murder. Because the plan to kill Amanda didn't start on Christmas Eve. It started 5 months before Michael even proposed to her. In her proffer to prosecutors, Jessica provides her journal, 50 pages of handwritten entries documenting the entire conspiracy. The entry from January 14, 2024 reads, "Michael told me about this girl his mom wants him to meet, some kindergarten teacher from church. He says she's boring, but her family has money, like serious money. He showed me articles about her parents' company. They're millionaires, and she's the only child. Everything goes to her eventually. February 3rd, 2024. Michael met Amanda today at some church volunteer thing. He says she's sweet, naive. He thinks he can make her fall for him. I asked if he's really going to go through with this. He said it's the only way we get our future. He works at a church making $40,000 a year. I'm a part-time choir director. We'll never have enough money to build the life we want. But if he marries Amanda, if he gets access to her family money, we can finally be together for real. May 15th, 2024. Michael proposed to Amanda tonight. She said yes. He called me right after. He was actually crying. He said he hated himself for lying to her, that she's a good person and doesn't deserve this. I asked if he wanted to back out. He said no, because I asked him the important question: does she have life insurance? He said not yet, but her parents are wealthy. They probably have policies. I told him to look into it. If something happened to her after they got married, before the divorce, he'd inherit everything. No messy divorce, no splitting assets, just a tragic accident, a grieving widower. Michael got quiet. Then he said he'd think about it. June 1st, 2024. The wedding is in 2 weeks. Michael is having second thoughts. He says Amanda is actually really nice, that he feels guilty. I reminded him why we're doing this. I told him if he backs out now, we're over. He can spend his life poor, working at a church, married to a woman he doesn't love, or he can go through with the plan and we can have everything we've ever wanted. He chose us. November 20th, 2024. Michael figured out the trust fund. Amanda turns 27 in January. On her birthday, she inherits $2 million from her grandmother. If she's married, her husband automatically becomes co-beneficiary. If she dies while married before accessing the trust, everything goes to her spouse. Michael took out a life insurance policy on her, $1.2 million. He tricked her into signing it. She thought it was health insurance paperwork. He says the timing is perfect. Once she turns 27 in January, we wait a few months, then stage an accident, a car crash, a home invasion, something that doesn't point back to him. We'll be set for life. December 15th, 2024. Michael is getting nervous. He says Amanda has been acting suspicious, looking through his phone, asking questions. I told him to be more careful. We're so close, just a few more weeks. December 24th, 5:30 p.m., the final entry. Amanda knows. She just attacked me outside my apartment, beat me half to death. I'm waiting for the ambulance. Michael isn't answering his phone. If she tells people about us, if she goes to the police, we're both going to prison. This is bad. This is really bad.
And then, written in shaky handwriting, added later, he did it. He actually did it. Oh God, what have we done? The journal entries prove that this wasn't a crime of passion. It wasn't a husband who snapped when his wife discovered his affair. It was a calculated, premeditated conspiracy, a plan that had been in motion for almost a full year. Michael Sullivan didn't just marry Amanda for money. He married her to murder her. And Jessica Martin wasn't just a mistress caught up in a bad situation. She was the architect. She was the one who first suggested looking into life insurance. She was the one who told Michael about the trust fund timeline. She was the one who, when Amanda discovered the affair and ruined their carefully laid plan, told Michael to pull the trigger. The trial of Michael Sullivan and Jessica Martin begins on August 4th, 2025, 8 months after Amanda's murder. The prosecution's case is devastating. They play the 43-minute phone call in its entirety. Every word, every gunshot, every moment of Amanda begging for her life. Several jurors cry. Michael's mother leaves the courtroom. They present Jessica's journal, all 50 pages, read aloud by the prosecutor. They call Amanda's parents to the stand.
Her father, Robert Chen, testifies about his daughter's excitement over her marriage, how she told him Michael was the answer to her prayers. Her mother, Lin Chen, testifies about the last conversation she had with Amanda, December 24th at 7:18 p.m.
Amanda had called her mother from her car right after beating Jessica. She said, "Mom, I did something terrible. Michael has been cheating on me with someone from church. I went to confront her and I lost control. I hit her. A lot. She's being taken to the hospital." Lynn had said, "Come home. Come to our house right now." Amanda had said, "I can't. I need to talk to Michael first. I need to know why he did this to me." Lynn had said, "Amanda, please just come here. We'll figure this out." Amanda had said, "I love you, Mom. I'll call you in a little while." That was the last time Lin Chen spoke to her daughter. The call ended at 7:21 p.m. Amanda was shot at approximately 7:50 p.m., 29 minutes later. Lin Chen testifies that she tried calling Amanda back 15 times that night. Amanda never answered. Michael Sullivan's defense team argues that while Michael did kill Amanda, it wasn't premeditated murder. They claim it was voluntary manslaughter, a crime of passion. They argue that Michael was under extreme emotional disturbance, that his wife had just beaten his girlfriend nearly to death, that Amanda came home and raged, threatening to destroy his life, his career, his reputation. They claim the gun went off accidentally during a struggle, and Michael, in shock, kept firing. They argue that the phone call with Jessica was taken out of context, that Jessica's words were the ramblings of someone on heavy pain medication, that Michael never actually intended to kill his wife. But the prosecution destroys this defense with one simple fact. Michael fired 9 shots. To fire 9 shots from the Glock 19 pistol Michael owned, you have to pull the trigger 9 times. There is no accidental 9 times. And, more damning, the forensic evidence shows Michael stopped to reload after the 8th shot. You don't reload during an accident. You reload during an execution.
Jessica Martin's defense is different. She takes a plea deal, agrees to testify against Michael in exchange for a reduced sentence. On the stand, Jessica claims she never thought Michael would actually do it. She says, "I was angry. Amanda had just tried to kill me. I was in pain, on medication. I wasn't thinking clearly. When I told Michael it was her or us, I didn't mean he should kill her. I meant he should choose between salvaging his marriage or being with me. I never imagined he'd take it literally." The prosecutor asks, "Then why did you tell him to wait hours before calling 911? Why did you tell him to factory reset his phone? Why did you coach him on what to say to the police?" Jessica is silent. The prosecutor continues, "Your journal says, and I quote, 'stage an accident, a car crash, a home invasion, something that doesn't point back to him.' Those are your words, Miss Martin, from November, a month before the murder. Doesn't sound like someone who never imagined violence." Jessica starts crying. "I was fantasizing, playing pretend. I never thought it would actually happen." The prosecutor shows the jury the journal entry from December 24th, the last entry. "He did it. He actually did it. Oh God, what have we done?" The prosecutor asks, "What have we done, Miss Martin? Not what has he done, what have we done? Because you knew. You were part of it from the very beginning." Jessica has no answer. The trial lasts 6 weeks. The jury deliberates for 2 hours and 17 minutes. They find Michael Sullivan guilty of first-degree murder, guilty of conspiracy to commit murder, guilty of insurance fraud. They find Jessica Martin guilty of conspiracy to commit murder, guilty of accessory to murder. At sentencing, the judge addresses Michael directly. He says, "You are a predator. You used your position as a man of faith to deceive a young woman who trusted you. You married her with the explicit intent to steal her inheritance and end her life. And when your plan was accelerated by circumstances beyond your control, you executed her while she begged for mercy. I have presided over hundreds of murder cases in my 30 years on the bench. I have never encountered such calculated evil." Michael Sullivan is sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Then the judge addresses Jessica. He says, "You were not the trigger man, Miss Martin, but you were the voice in his ear, the devil on his shoulder. You helped plan this murder, you encouraged it, and when it was happening, in real time, you coached him through it. Your plea deal spares you from the harshest penalty, but make no mistake, you are responsible for Amanda Chen Sullivan's death just as much as the man who pulled the trigger." Jessica Martin is sentenced to 30 years in prison. With good behavior, she could be eligible for parole in 25. She will be 49 years old.
Amanda Sullivan's family establishes the Amanda Chen Sullivan Foundation in her memory. The foundation provides resources for people in abusive or predatory relationships. It trains counselors to recognize the warning signs of financial abuse, of manipulation, of partners who marry for money rather than love. Lin Chen, Amanda's mother, becomes the foundation's spokesperson. She gives talks at churches, community centers, colleges. She tells Amanda's story, all of it. The whirlwind romance, the charming pastor, the warning signs she missed. She says, "My daughter was smart, she was educated, she was cautious, and she still fell victim to a man who saw her as nothing more than a bank account. If it can happen to her, it can happen to anyone." At one event, a young woman approaches Lin after the presentation. She says, "My boyfriend just proposed to me. We've only been dating 4 months. He keeps asking questions about my family's finances, about my trust fund. I thought I was being paranoid, but after hearing your story, I realize I'm not." Lin tells her, "Trust your instincts, take your time, and if something feels wrong, it probably is." The young woman breaks off the engagement. 3 months later, she finds out her ex-boyfriend had done this before, targeted wealthy women, proposed quickly. 2 of his ex-fiancées had died under suspicious circumstances. He's now under investigation. Lin Chen receives a thank you card from the young woman. It says, "Amanda saved my life." In December 2026, 2 years after Amanda's murder, Detective Robert Hayes retires from the Columbus Police Department. His last case was Amanda Sullivan. In an interview, he's asked what he'll remember most about the case. He says, "The Christmas presents, under the tree. Amanda had wrapped presents for Michael, for his parents, for friends from church. She'd labeled them all in her handwriting, little notes on each one. To my husband, my heart, to my forever love." She wrapped those presents probably on December 23rd, maybe even the morning of December 24th, hours before he killed her. She still believed in their marriage. She still loved him. Even after everything, she was trying to make their first Christmas special, and he shot her 9 times. Hayes pauses. "That's what I'll remember. Those presents still sitting under that tree, wrapped with love by a woman who had no idea she'd married her murderer." In the evidence room at Columbus Police Department, stored in box number 7249, there are several items from the Amanda Sullivan case. The murder weapon, a Glock 19 pistol. The phone used to record the 43-minute call. Jessica Martin's journal. The life insurance documents. And one more thing. A Christmas card. It was found in Amanda's purse, already sealed, already addressed. To Michael Sullivan. The card has a picture of 2 snow-covered doves on the front. Inside, in Amanda's handwriting, it reads, "My dearest Michael, this is our first Christmas together as husband and wife. I know these past few months haven't been easy. I know we've had our struggles, but I believe in us. I believe in what we're building. I promise to love you more fiercely every day, to choose you every morning, to fight for us when things get hard. You are my answered prayer, my gift from God. Here's to the first of 50 Christmases together. Forever yours, Amanda." She signed it with a heart. She never got to give it to him. It was still in her purse when police found her body.
Michael Sullivan is currently incarcerated at the Marion Correctional Institution in Ohio. He's housed in administrative segregation for his own protection. Inmates don't take kindly to men who kill their wives. He receives no visitors. Jessica Martin is incarcerated at the Ohio Reformatory for Women. She's scheduled for her first parole hearing in 2049, 25 years from now. Amanda Chen Sullivan is buried at Green Lawn Cemetery in Columbus. Her headstone reads, "Beloved daughter, sister, teacher, friend. Your light was extinguished too soon, but it will never be forgotten." 1998 to 2024. Every year on Christmas Eve, Amanda's mother visits the grave. She brings flowers, and she brings a Christmas card. She reads it aloud to her daughter, tells her about the year that's passed, tells her she's missed, tells her she's loved. And then Lin Chen does something she's done every Christmas Eve since 2024. She calls out the names of the people the Amanda Chen Sullivan Foundation has helped that year. The women who recognized warning signs in their relationships, the women who left before it was too late, the women who are alive because Amanda's story was told. Last Christmas Eve, there were 47 names, 47 women. Lynn tells Amanda, "You saved them, baby girl. You couldn't save yourself, but you saved them." And then she places the Christmas card on the grave, right next to the flowers. And she says what she says every year. "Merry Christmas, Amanda. I miss you, I love you, and I promise, as long as I'm alive, your story will continue to save lives."
If you want to uncover more chilling true crime stories and see justice exposed, subscribe to Crime Vaults as we bring light to the darkest true crime cases and never miss the secrets hidden in plain sight.